Hey everybody, it's just me tonight. Unfortunately, the other person who was going to do the video with me this week was feeling sick, so just to be safe, it's just me here. But that reminds me, when we first started Dive Deeper, I mentioned how eventually I think it would be so cool to have some of you students share in our videos as well. So if you're interested in doing that, let your leader know tonight and they can pass that along to me. And what we would do is assign you a chapter that's a few weeks away, and we get you to read it and write up your thoughts. And that would give us some time to talk with you about it and help you with it. Because I really believe that you guys can read the Bible and really understand it, and that all of the rest of us would benefit from hearing your perspective and what God is speaking to you through His Word. So I think that would be so cool if some of you wanted to share in the videos. All right, well, with that said, let's do a warm-up question. What is something you're looking forward to this summer? All right, so Oliver, what stood out to you this week? Thanks for asking, Oliver. It was verse 16. Would you read that for me? No, I'm just joking, that's stupid. All right, Matthew 16:16. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." All right, so just before this, Jesus had asked who people thought he was. And his disciples answered that some people thought he was like the prophets from the Old Testament, but then Jesus asks, "Who do you think I am?" And Peter says, "You're the Messiah, the Son of the living God." So first, here's some observations. The Messiah is maybe a term that you've heard before, but maybe not. It's a Hebrew word that comes from the Jewish scriptures. That's what we call the Old Testament. And it's sometimes translated in the New Testament as Christ. Yeah, so the word Christ isn't Jesus' last name. It's a title, like King Henry. King wasn't his first name, it's a title. So the title Christ or Messiah means anointed one. So that's actually not that helpful, is it? What does anointed mean? Like, whoever says that, right? So to be anointed means to have oil poured on your head, right? No one says that today. No one goes to McDonald's and says, "Give me some of those anointed fries." Yeah, the ones covered in oil. Anyway, so that's kind of random, but having oil poured on your head was a symbol of God's Spirit coming on you to lead His people. That's what it means to be the anointed one, or the Messiah, or the Christ. It means to be chosen by God to lead His people. In the Old Testament, priests were anointed and kings were anointed. So Peter calls Jesus the Messiah. He's saying, you're the chosen one, the person God is going to use, like a priest and a king, to lead His people. Not just any priest or king, like in the Old Testament, but God had predicted through the prophets that one special anointed person, one special Messiah, would come and be the ultimate leader of God's people, both as a priest and a king. That's what Peter's saying here. Jesus is the ultimate Messiah. Okay, so what does it mean for Him to be like the ultimate priest or king? Well, priests in the Old Testament offered sacrifices for the sins of the people. When people disobeyed God's law, the priests would make sacrifices so God and the people could be together again. And that's what Jesus did once and for all. He gave His own life as a sacrifice so that we could be together with God again. And so what does it mean for Jesus to be the ultimate king? It means that He rules. He's in charge. For those of you who were in church on Sunday, I talked a lot about that. So maybe you can fill in the rest of your group with what I said. Just kidding. But actually, if you do remember it, yeah, go for it. So what does that actually mean for our lives? Well, to apply that to our life today, I think here's a couple things. First of all, Jesus being our ultimate priest means that we can have a relationship with God again if we receive the forgiveness that Jesus offers by sacrificing His own life. And then Jesus being king, that means that we should acknowledge Him as king. We should let Him take control of our lives. And since He's the ultimate king, He's a good king, we can trust that what He wants for us in our lives is actually good. His will for us, His commandments for us, they're actually what's best for us. So to make Jesus our king, to let Him take control of our lives, we can trust that that's actually going to be a good thing for us. That's going to be the best thing for us. So let's stop there for our discussion. What is one way that you need to respond to Jesus as your priest and king? And think beyond just how that should affect your actions, but also how it should affect your values and emotions and what you want. All right, so we don't have a second leader to share tonight, but I thought this would be a really great chapter to have an extended time for you to share in your groups. You know, you might have some observations or some questions that you wanted to share. And that can either be from students or from leaders. And so maybe you could actually start by reading the whole chapter together, just to refresh your memory, since I know everyone read it already, and then take some time to share about it. All right, well, have a great discussion.